One of the great things about living in Saskatoon is the amenities that are so close to the city, and one of them is the Black Fox Farm and Distillery. I'm here today with John Cote and Barb Stephanician Cote, the founders of the Black Fox, and I welcome them and they've welcomed us into their facility. Thank you both for doing that.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Yeah, our pleasure.
John, let me start with you. In terms of the business itself, when it got going, we talk about farming and value added. Is that something that was in your mind at the beginning, or where did the crux of Black Fox come in?
Well, absolutely. So our background is very much agricultural. So Barb and I met right out of university, went grain farming, did that for many, many years, and had a lot of opportunity to travel around the world and see different opportunities in agriculture. And we felt for us that the best option we could get into was doing something where we could take the commodities that we can grow so well here in the province and do something to process them. And so we sold our family farm, which was about 100 kilometers north of here. And we moved here 9 years ago to this piece of property and started working like crazy. And so we produce a lot of fruit, we grow cut flowers, and of course we run a distillery. So it took a long time to get up and going. But that was the whole idea behind it, is to produce something absolutely beautiful for our customers and not just the raw commodity.
So Barb, when we look at the facility and the grounds here and everything that you're doing, it's just remarkable what you've come from and done here. What are some of the activities? It's not just an adult-only venue that you would come here, and you're open year-round. What would people expect if they came here?
So when people come in, it depends on what time of year they come. Obviously, the best time to come is midsummer. We have a lot of cut flowers that people can go out and pick their own. So we have a you-pick flower operation, and that's not something that's very common. So it's nice. It's that nice opportunity to go out, and we have about 2 acres of cut flowers. So it's not just a little garden. It's a chance to go out. We plant 17,000 gladiolas, and we have a gladiola festival. We tend to bring in people with a lot of festivals. We have a gin festival in June. We have flower festivals in the summertime, gladiolas, sunflowers, and then in the fall, around now in September, we have our pumpkin festivals.
And the pumpkin festival runs through the end of September. It's every weekend or during the week?
All the last 3 weekends of September is when we have our pumpkin festival, and what we do is we set up games for the kids and wagon rides, and we have horse rides, and then we have pumpkin soup and pumpkin pie and pumpkin donuts, all those good things.
Would there be any chance that something could fall from the sky, perhaps?
Yes, there is, and it'd be a pumpkin that falls from the sky. We have another weekend that we have our pumpkin smash. It's a fundraiser for the Society of the Blue Goose. They tend to donate their money to the Saskatoon Firefighters Pediatric Fund, is where it's gone in the past. And they drop a pumpkin and smash a car and the pumpkin at the same time. Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. And a lot of it is, we just want people to enjoy, this is not your typical farm. Yeah. And we want to bring people out, talk to them about farming, and let them realize that the farming is it's very broad. Everybody thinks in Saskatchewan that you're going to be growing grain or you're going to have cattle on your farm, but here, everything from a distillery to growing flowers and apples and dropping pumpkins on cars. This is all about farming.
And I think that's something that we talked about earlier, was that it's not just threshing machines and binders that have transposed into swathers and combines. It's also a value added and taking those products that we produce here very well, I might add, and doing something with them for the world market. Where would you ship your product to? Is there just a local Saskatchewan type of SLGA marketing for you?
So we have, you can find our products around the province. They are in the SLGA stores, the co-ops, the Sobeys, a lot of the private liquor stores as well throughout the province carry our product. But we're also fortunate that Alberta now, where our product is shipped into Alberta, it's shipped into Europe and into China. Yeah.
And I let Barb answer that because Barb is the director of marketing, I guess. But am I? But we've been able to, the nice part about using our agricultural roots to run a business like this is that we have connections all over the world. Barb and I have been lucky that we've worked in many different countries, and we really enjoy traveling. So it's part of what we like to do is work in these other markets in different parts of the world and meet new people and interesting people and invite them out here as well. So there's that huge tourism component to what we do. And Saskatoon is such a wonderful place to come visit. We've got an unbelievable restaurant scene that's happening in Saskatoon. Cocktails, craft breweries like 9 Mile Legacy and, like right in the heart of Riversdale. And it's a reason to come here. And when we go out and we meet people in these other countries, it's so much fun to invite them out and say, no, you just don't have to come and see us. There's so much to do here.
We're hearing that just in the tourism world about micro distilleries and nano breweries and so on, that there's an actual tourism market that's crafted around that or incorporated, into different tourism types of components. Are you seeing people from around the world with your product? As popular as it is, it's won some awards as well. What happened there?
Well, we were quite lucky. 2 years ago, one of our products, I don't see it handy, but it's one of our gins. We submitted it to a competition and it was named the best cask gin in the world in London, England. So needless to say, when you start getting some coverage like that people around the world start taking notice and start saying, oh, well, that could be a place that when we come into the province of Saskatchewan, we want to head up to Saskatoon and we want to come and see what these guys are doing. And I know for ourselves, when we travel, those are the kind of things we like to see. We want to see what's happening locally, and we want to see what's happening locally that's absolutely exceptional. So if you look around, Saskatoon has so many great examples, even close by down Valley Road here, we've got everything from, children's games happening and world-class golf courses and all these things. These are the things that really make a community really function, because it's not just your average thing that's happening, it's the exceptional thing that's happening.
And I think taking that forward out, not just to our city of Saskatoon, but to the world, thank you for putting us on that international stage in a good way. Barb, tell us a bit about on the business side of things. You've been raised in rural Saskatchewan and you've come here. What have you seen in the past number of years just in terms of agriculture and how the business of ag is working?
I think that people are being more and more aware of where their products are coming from and they want to know more. There has been, unfortunately, a huge disconnect with agriculture in the last 20, 30 years, and understandably how that happened. But now people are more curious and they're asking more questions, and I see that as a very positive thing, because people now want to become involved and they want to know what they're consuming, where their money is going. And so around the world, I see a lot more care and attention being paid to what do I have and how can I make the best products from it. And here in Saskatchewan, we've got, we're known for growing the best grains in the world for breads and pastas. Why shouldn't we be making the best whiskeys and the best gins out of that? And that's what we believe, and that's why we kind of set up the business the way we did.
I think that's a very important point, and that lends to the comment you made about winning the award in London, as it puts you on the international stage where someone may not be able to come here but ask about your product to get shipped elsewhere, and I think it's remarkable to take us to that level. What are you seeing just in terms of gin in its own? Not exactly a popular drink, if I would say that. You're familiar with the ryes and vodkas, but is it more of a specialty drink, and you have a new one as well?
So gin is very interesting. So if you look at trends around the world, gin consumption is one of those products that people are consuming more of, and it kind of started in Europe, and now it's making its way to North America. And the rationale is that people are starting to look for flavors. They're becoming more discriminating in their taste. So people who drink red wine tend to like quite strong flavors. People who enjoy Scotch whiskey are now looking at gin and saying, oh my goodness, there's a whole world of flavors out there. So this is a new product that we just came out with, and we've done a little bit of a partnership with Sea Paws, and it's haskap berries that we grow, and it's the spirit that we make here, and we make this gin that we age for 2 years outside in the Saskatchewan winter. And it's made an absolute product, and it is, the terroir behind this is absolutely Saskatchewan. Like this is it's like this is us.
Yes.
And that's what drives that whole market, and it's full of flavor and all that kind of stuff. So when people come and they think, oh, we want to bring something home from Saskatchewan, why do you want to bring something home that you can buy anywhere else in the world? This is the kind of product that really sells well, and it really shows here, this is how resourceful the farmers are out there, because they can grow all this really neat stuff. So this is something we're really proud of. We just released it, and $5 from every bottle that we sell for the first 500 bottles goes towards protecting the boreal forest and the ecosystem up north through CPAWS, and that's kind of the relationship we did with them. One of the the rationale behind it was the hascap berries that we use to make it come from the boreal forest. And so that's where the genetics are, and it's all about saving the ecosystem and using that in agriculture and telling that story.
And with it being produced here in Saskatchewan, there's something to do with the expansion and contraction of the oak, I would think,
yes.
If I heard that right.
Yes, so
What
especially in our whiskey. So anything that's barrel aged here in Saskatchewan is turning out to be absolutely phenomenal. And it's our weather pattern. So the weather around what we do in the distillery is extremely important. It's doing a couple things. When we grow our grain here in Saskatchewan, it actually has a different flavor than the grain that you might grow somewhere else. And because we get really cold nights in August, really hot days, and it causes these flavors to build up and concentrate. Same thing in the fruit that we grow, all this really neat stuff is happening.
It even happens in the flowers. The colors of the flowers are more intense than when they're grown here in Saskatchewan than if the same flowers are grown in the southern climates.
So and then what we've discovered is that when you make whiskey and you're storing your whiskey in these conditions, it's actually causing the barrel itself, like the wood, when it gets to be 40 degrees below zero, the grain tightens up so much that it actually pushes the liquid out of the wood, and then when it warms back up, it sucks it back in. It works like a pump almost.
Barb, tell us a little bit about how people would get here, just to close this out, to come to the Pumpkin Festival and year-round.
So we're just located at 245 Valley Road. We are actually just minutes from downtown, or almost anywhere in Saskatoon, thanks to that new bridge that everybody's using. So we're very close to the city, and it's just very simple to get here.
Appreciate you both making time today. Thank you both.
Thank you.
It's been our real pleasure.
Stay with us. We're coming right back.